after the Astoria show in London, we were sleeping, and the phone rang like three in the morning, and he got on the phone. He was on the phone for a long time, and I just went back to sleep. And in the morning, we all went down to breakfast, and I remember Kurt saying to Dave, "Hey, Courtney called." And I didn't know who Courtney was. And Dave said, "Oh, cool, whatever." And we finished breakfast and we went outside. And Kurt said to me, "How are you going to get to Wolverhampton?" And I said, and I was like, "Oh, shit, what's that mean?" You know, so I said, "Oh, I'm not going. I've got things in London that I have to do," which was bullshit. And what I wanted to say was, "What the fuck do you mean? I'm going with you," you know? And so I was like, that's weird, saying to myself, and I didn't know what to do. And so he gave me, he went back in and he came out with an itinerary, which was really thick, right? It was the entire tour and all the phone numbers and the promoters, the gig, the venues, everything.
Right.
So he gave me the book and said bye, and it was really weird, right?
Oh my God. And
Yeah.
but up to that point, like since you got to London and then you went to Bristol and you met up with them and all of that, you were traveling with them like normal, right?
I had rented a car, and so he rode with me once, and then that was the only time it would have had to ride with me, because that's as far as we got, right?
Yeah.
So right, so everything was pretty normal.
Yeah.
It was normal. And then after that phone call, it was weird, right? So I don't know what the hell was going on. But so later that afternoon, I was at a friend's house because I had lived in England. I knew people. So I was at a friend's house because I knew that Nirvana were going to be on this TV show called The Word. It was sort of like a Top of the Pops kind of a show, and I was like, "Oh, I really want to watch this. Maybe this will give me a clue."
Oh my
whatever.
God.
Oh my God! So I'm watching it, and on Nirvana come on, and Kurt says before the band starts playing, he said, I just want everyone in this room to know that Courtney Love, the lead singer from the pop group Hole, is the best fuck in the world." And I was just like, "Oh, what?" Like, what? You know, like, first of all, I was like, who the fuck is Courtney Love?
I'd like all of you people in this room to know that Courtney Love, the lead singer of the sensational pop group Hole, is the best fuck in the world.
I mean, I had been with him the night before.
Yeah.
Right? Been with him. So anyway, I had no real reason to be there. So I left like a day or two later. I came back to Boston, and all these people, old friends of mine, were like, "What's up with you and Courtney Love?" And I'm like, who the fuck is Courtney Love, right? I had no idea. And they were like, "Wow, she was dissing you from stage at the Rat the other night." And I'm like, what? And so it turns out that my friend Dave, the guy who initially told me that I should go see Nirvana at the Rat, right, was that night before Kurt got the phone call, was going to interview Courtney Love, who was playing at the Rat, right? And she was in a band called Hole. I knew about the band Hole, but I never knew the name of the singer.
Right.
I knew the Retard Girl song and a couple other songs, and I thought, well, they're kind of like Babes in Toyland, and
Yeah.
I'm not sure about this, right? So anyway, I was like, wait. I'm like, oh, so she's the singer for this band Hole. Okay, so what happened was Dave, my friend, went to interview Hole before the show at the Rat, the same night that Nirvana played in London, where I was with him. And so when Dave said to Courtney, "So are you going to be doing any shows? What are you doing?" And she said, "Yeah, we're going to be doing a bunch of shows with Nirvana, blah, blah." And Dave said, "Oh, my friend, Kurt's girlfriend, Mary Lou, just went off to England to be with him. And Dave, whatever. So Courtney was like, Kurt's girlfriend, what? Right. So all of a sudden the tables turn, and instead of Dave interviewing Courtney, Courtney is interviewing Dave. So she's buying him beer after beer, pumping him for all the information about me that she can get. Right. So it's at the time, it was probably about maybe 7 o'clock at night, before Hole went on, when Dave interviewed them. Keep in mind, there's a 5-hour difference between Boston and London. And so I figure she got all the information about me from Dave she could, and then spun some kind of a something and called either before or after she went on stage. And I know for a fact that she knew about me at that point, and she must have said something to him that was pretty big, because everything was fine, and then all of a sudden it wasn't. I have an idea of what she might have said to him, and I think that she told him something big, and it was a lie.
Well, it doesn't take Einstein to work out what she might have said, because he doesn't strike me as someone who would have been that sneaky of shuffling women around like that, and like two significant people. So whatever was said obviously created a shift that you had no control over.